evening. I just wanted to start by saying that I really want to interact with you guys in my presentation, and feel free to ask any questions at any time. Just raise your hand. So first, I would like to start by asking you guys what these symbols mean to you. Anybody?
Because of your presentation, I think they're plus and minus from like the modeling industry.
Positivity and negativity.
Same thing.
Okay. Anybody else?
Addition and subtraction.
What?
Math.
Yeah. Anybody else? Okay. So basically, this brings me to my topic. Should we eliminate the term plus size in the modeling industry? Now, the reason I picked these two symbols is because positive is said to be a good thing, or a great thing, but it's used in negative term when we say plus size. So, first I would like to start by saying, do these models look plus size to you?
They look like plus size because I'm used to seeing them as plus size, but in real life they would be normal.
Yeah.
In real life, I think they're not even like plus size. They're even skinnier than most people.
Yeah.
They're actually not plus size. They're just like normal size. Actually, like they're like times ours, and I think they're actually skinnier.
That actually brings me to the plus size and what it actually is. You see, in the modeling industry, plus size is sizes 8 and up, but in the real world, it only starts at size 16. Now, that's a bit delusional. According to CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the average American woman is size 14, yet the dominant sizes in the industry is 0, 2, and 4. So in a world where you're telling women that plus size is 4 and up, you're causing body image issues, don't you guys think? You're causing unrealistic expectations that every woman should look like these models. Every woman should look like a size 2 or 1 or 4, but they're telling you have to look like these women, but it's never really going to happen. So I would like to share a few quotes with you where models shared their opinion about the term plus size. First, I would like to start by Iskra Lawrence. She says, "I don't think plus size is a fraught term at all. At least I hope it's not. To most people, it's a bit of a gray area. What, you're a plus size model, but you look normal size? Yes, in the modeling, and that's why it's confusing. In the fashion industry standards are different than the real life." Georgina Borg says, it's an insignificant term used by the fashion industry. There is no need to segregate between models because at the end of the day, we are all models. Who agrees with her? Because I know I do. So, Lauren Chan says, "I think plus size is a loaded term for many people. In the world of modeling, it's used to categorize models above normal size. I think a lot of people think that it would be much could be resolved by removing the term plus size." Now, all these plus size and terms, they lead to problems in young girls, causing them to believe that their body is not good enough, causing them to have eating disorders, which is why I wanted to get deeper into eating disorders, and that's the reason why I chose this topic in first place with the plus size and why we should eliminate it. So does anybody know what eating disorders are? Or can anybody give me an example of eating disorders?
An example is bulimia and anorexia.
I'm gonna say what she said.
Okay, anybody else from the back? No? Okay. Yeah? All right. So, like you guys said, I wanted to start with anorexia. Anorexia is an emotional disorder characterized by an obsessive desire to lose weight by refusing to eat. Now, these are examples of girls who've had anorexia, and you can see their bones. They're very skinny, and this is actually a good case of anorexia. There are some bad cases of anorexia which can lead to death. anorexia doesn't only affect the way you look. It affects your whole body. It affects you. You can have a kidney failure. You have weak muscles. You have anemia. Your hair becomes thinner. But most of all, it affects your brain. It actually it affects your brain, and your brain changes in the chemistry. The chemistry of your brain changes. You're sad. You're moody. You have bad memory. You feel really depressed. And so bulimia is another example of an eating disorder. It's also an emotional disorder involving distortion of body image and an obsessive desire to lose weight by overeating and then have a self-induced vomiting. So this is the process for somebody who has bulimia. They eat and then they vomit, and then they eat and then they vomit. So I chose this image specifically because it is actually an emotional disorder. It's something mentally in your mind. There's a problem mentally. You see, when you look into the mirror, you don't see what's actually there. You see a person who doesn't even exist. You see yourself looking like this when you actually look like this in real life to everybody else. Again, like I said, for anorexia, bulimia doesn't only affect the way it looks, it affects you throughout your body. You have low self-esteem, depression, fatigue, irregular or absent period, irregular heartbeat, you have anemia, and it goes on. So I wanted to introduce to you a woman who's called Susanna Bachwald. And basically, she's a model who has suffered from many eating disorders. So she said, I knew starving myself wasn't the way to live, but I also thought that it was the only way I could stay in my profession. Now, isn't that crazy? The only way you think you can stay in your profession is by starving yourselves. Now, her agency kept telling her, don't exercise, don't eat, or else you will look too muscular or too big. Now, she's only one of the cases, one model who has had anorexia and bulimia. There are so many other models out there who shared their story as well. But it's deeper than that. It's not just the models who are getting affected. It's young girls in our society. When we see models in magazines or in social media, we see goals, and it's not something that it might not be a body that we can't look like that. We might, and it gives us low self-esteem, and we have body image issues because of it. And many girls actually develop anorexia and a lot of other eating disorders just because they're looking at these models and how they should look like, because that's what society is telling them they should look like. Now, the reason I chose this topic is because I knew a woman who had anorexia and eating disorders, and it affected her throughout her life, not only in her young years when she had anorexia. It affected her later on. She couldn't get pregnant. It was impossible for her because of the anorexia. It's things that not only affect you in the short term, but also affect you long term, and your body ruins. So that's why I think we should eliminate the term plus size, because like I said, they're all models, and they shouldn't be segregated by the term plus size. So what do you think?